Hello everyone, I am Sajid and welcome back to my channel SciTech. In today's I'll try to compare the Iqoo 003 versus the Realme X50 Pro device. So which device is the best option to buy right now and why as well? And this was a question asked by a lot of my subscribers as well. As you can see, friends asking me to do a video on this Iqoo 003 versus Realme X50 Pro. So instead of making this kind of video which will be kind of helpful for a lot of users, so I'll try to compare all this kind of category and I'll try to conclude which phone is the best for this kind of exact price range. So right now it's available for about 24,000 rupees. So due to the Flipkart sale is going on this both smartphones. So let's see, friends, which phone will be the winner and why. So first category is a processor. So both phones, they do have the Snapdragon 865 chipset in them, and they do have the LPDDR5 RAM type, and one which is present in this Realme X50 Pro is of UFS 3.0, as you can see, friends. So it is a UFS 3.0, and whereas in the Iqoo 003, so which is of UFS 3.1. So there is only that one thing change. So everything it's going to be same in both phones. So same processor, same kind of performance you can expect between both phones in terms of the Snapdragon 865 performance between both phones. So in the processor segment, slight points for the Iqoo 003 because of having UFS 3.1, but it doesn't affect much of the functional difference. So maybe in this category we can give even the equal score for both phones. Even the most of the reviews for the Iqoo 003 is completely positive regarding the performance wise. So none of them gave any complaints about the performance, only few of them. But in the processor segment, both phones are equal. So let's move to the display segment. So in terms of the display, friends, both phones, they do have the Super AMOLED panel. So one which is present in the Iqoo 003, which is also Super AMOLED display, but it doesn't have any kind of high refresh rate. So whereas the Realme X50 Pro, which has got 90 Hz Super AMOLED display, but one in the Iqoo 003, there is no high refresh rate. So just normal basic Super AMOLED panel, as you can see, friends. So that is what the little bit kind of drawback. But there's another option, another thing which is going on here, which is a 180 Hz quick touch response rate, as you can see, friends. So which is something, another thing which is a touch sampling rate. So same thing they did use here, which is a 180 Hz refresh touch response rate. And if you compare 180 Hz to this 90 refresh rate, I think 90 refresh rate will be quite advantage in any smartphone. But the display on this phone is another advantage because the phone has got only small punch hole camera, so which makes a really good while you're watching movies. So whereas a Realme X50 Pro, there is a dual punch hole camera, so that's why you will feel this kind of not good while watching the videos, so most of the time. So there is the one difference in the display. So both support HDR10+, so there is nothing much difference over there. So in the display segment, I think equal points between both phones, but slight advantage for the Realme X50 Pro because of having 90 Hz refresh rate. So now let's move to the battery and the charging. So in terms of the battery and the charging, the battery backup in this phone is only 4200 mAh of battery. So whereas Iqoo 003, which has got the 4400 milliampere, as you can see, friends. So 4440, as you can see, milliamperes. So which is quite big when you compare with the normal X50 Pro. And even the fast charging is 65 watts. So where the fast charging in this phone is a 55 watt fast charging. So that is a quite interesting here. So with the fast charging, in terms of the fast charging, the Realme X50 Pro will take about 35 minutes to fully charge, and whereas the Iqoo 003 will take, I think, close to maybe 40 minutes of fully charge or 35 minutes, I think. So both should be kind of same to same in terms of the charging speed rate, but 50% in first 15 minutes, as you can see, friends. So this is what the company is claiming on this Iqoo 003. Overall, in terms of the battery backup, I think the Iqoo 003 will be the best advantage, and charging as well. I think both phones are kind of equal in the charging speed rate. So in the battery backup, in this segment, I'm trying to give the points to the Iqoo 003 particularly in terms of the battery and the charging segment. So in the display, X50 Pro, and in the processor, both are kind of same. So now let's move to the camera. So camera is another interesting thing, friends, where the Realme X50 Pro really shines. So which has got the 20x of zooming capabilities. So whereas this Iqoo 003, which has got pretty normal decent specifications regarding the camera, so nothing much special. So which is of normal 48 megapixel camera lens, as you can see, 48, 13+2. So this is a normal standard camera lens we are seeing here. But in this Realme X50 Pro, you do get 20x of zooming, so which will give you the really good advantage while capturing the images. So that is what I love in this Realme X50 Pro, particularly when taking the photos. You can see really zoom in details when you try to zoom in the object. That is what I am trying to do right now. So it's a really good thing, friends, using the 20x of zooming. So in case if you are into videography or photography, you will definitely love the Realme X50 Pro's camera. So in the camera segment, I am giving points to the Realme X50 Pro. And final question is the 5G. I think both supports the 5G. And in terms of the number of bands, which phone supports what, the 5G, there is only 3 bands in the IQ003, and whereas in the Realme X50 Pro device, I think there is close to 4 bands, I think so, in India. So these are the quick difference between the both phones. So both phones should be kind of same kind of bands supporting in either of the devices. If you want the 5G, the prices are completely different for the IQ003, as you can see, friends, if you want the 5G model. But for this kind of price, for the 24,000 rupees, you are getting the 5G ear. So overall for this 24,000, the 5G you are getting, and you do get the dual loudspeakers and all those capabilities, so haptic feedbacks and everything. But this is the quick difference, friends, between both phones. And for the gamers, there is another feature which is called the button. So where you get the quick button side sensitive areas, so which also acts as you can see, friends, monster touch buttons will be there on the left and right side of the phone. So when you're trying to play high intense games, so this is another quick advantage for the gamers, particularly in this phone. So these are the quick comparison, friends, between both phones. And so final conclusion is that the Realme X50 Pro has got the 5G advantage, and it did have the camera advantage. So 2 advantages are there in this particular phone, and even the display also high refresh rate advantage in this phone. And IQ003, maybe it comes to close to the gamers point of view. I think I would prefer IQ003 only in terms of the gaming point, because you are getting more battery and you are getting special touch buttons which will be very helpful while playing the games. That is another thing. And this is the complete quick comparison, friends, between both phones. And if you compare all-round package, which phone is value for the money, I would say the Realme X50 Pro is a value for the money, because you are getting the 5G within this kind of budget range, dual mode 5G, which is present right now in this phone. So that's it, friends. This is a quick comparison, and thank you for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe and stay tuned. So see you in the next video, friends. Until then, bye.